Let's look at the quarterbacking situations here.
Mm.
I had mentioned, I talked to a league source about don't be so quick to say if Tom Brady leaves Tampa and plays again that it would be Las Vegas, that Josh McDaniels might opt for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mhm.
And maybe there's not the relationship between Josh and Tom Brady that we thought. What happened in New England, and I was told, Jimmy G might be a more viable option because now you get somebody who is younger, going to be playing longer for you instead just a one and done maybe with Tom Brady. Let me start there. Brady coming back next year feels like it's becoming more and more a foregone conclusion. The question is, where do you see him next year?
I think Vegas is an option, but I think that's going to come down to what you just said, which, I think it's the Raiders. I think to some degree, Josh and Dave Ziegler, their GM, I think they misjudged the roster a little bit last year, like coming in, and they went all in on it, and they do the contract with Carr, and they trade for Devontae Adams, and they sign Chandler Jones, and so I think their pursuit of Brady is going to depend on two things: where they think they are from a roster standpoint, and where Brady thinks they are from a roster standpoint. Are they in a position where they can go into a one and done scenario with a quarterback? If they are, then I think they go after him. And I can tell you unequivocally, like, this is a fact. The Raiders are looking into it. Like, the Raiders are looking into going and acquiring Tom Brady. As for
so you're reporting that, not an opinion.
This is something that they have, and I'm not saying they're contacting him because that's not allowed. But yes, this is something that the Raiders have are doing their research on.
Okay.
I same goes for Jimmy Garoppolo. They're looking at the idea of studying Jimmy Garoppolo, and I may have said this on your show a few weeks ago. I've said it a couple different places. That's what Derek Carr was up against over the last couple months when they looked at him and said, I don't know if it's going to work past this year. I think, Carr was sort of thrown in a de facto competition with Garoppolo and Brady. And it's, can we do better? You know what I mean? Like, is there something we can do to get more out of that position? Because Carr wasn't what they thought he would be at that position. It's part of them misjudging the roster a little bit. And so, I think that this is, when they signed Derek Carr to that contract, the idea was this is going to be Alex Smith in Kansas City. This is going to be a guy we can compete with for the next 3, 4, 5 years, and he's going to give us flexibility to go and find the next guy, which is what Alex Smith did for the Chiefs and Andy Reid. I think Jimmy Garoppolo can be that guy. So what you're talking about, like, Jimmy Garoppolo fits into that, right? Like, so Jimmy Garoppolo could be that guy for them. Are they willing to throw that idea overboard for a potential one and done situation with Brady? Like, that's the question, because Brady's not going to be that guy. If Brady comes in, you're not doing that. If Brady comes in, you are loading up the roster. You're probably going and signing an offensive lineman or two. You're going to get some guys who are going to come in and try to gravy train a ring the same way a lot of guys did in Tampa. I think that's the reality of it. So it's like, I think when you look at these two options for the Raiders, it's like it's a fork in the road. Like, which way do you want to go? Do you want to build slowly and logically, or do you want to go all in? And I think that that's sort of the way you have to look at the Jimmy versus Brady argument in Vegas.